With that, we are shifting our focus from Kerala story 2 to the impending visit of the Prime Minister to Israel. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to visit Israel on the 25th and 26th of February, marking his second trip to the country. The agenda is packed with talks on defense cooperation, advanced missile shields, also drone technology and innovation partnerships with Israel. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has hailed Modi as a, quote, personal friend, praising India's growing global role, and also called this visit a milestone in strengthening economic, diplomatic and security ties. With both the leaders emphasizing strategic collaboration, this trip could redefine the India-Israel partnership for the decade ahead.
והשבוע ניתן ביטוי ליחסים מיוחדים שנרקמו במהלך השנים האחרונות בין ישראל לבין המעצמה העולמית הודו וביני לבין העומד בראשה ראש הממשלה נרנדרה מודי. אנחנו ידידים אישיים, מדברים תכופות בטלפון, מבקרים זה את זה. אני ביקרתי בהודו, מודי ביקר כאן, השתכשכנו בימי הים התיכון, והרבה מים עברו מאז גם בים התיכון וגם בגנגס וגם בירדן פחות. בכל מקרה, אבל דבר אחד קרה, זה שמרקם היחסים הלך והתהדק, והוא יבוא הנה כדי שנוכל להדק אותו עוד יותר בסדרה של החלטות.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Israel, CNN News18 Sanjay Suri gets us more details from Tel Aviv on how Prime Minister Modi's visit to boost India-Israel diplomacy is going to be really important in shaping up the narrative when it is coming in from the Middle East. Take a look at this report.
We've stepped into the Bnei Israel synagogue just outside of Tel Aviv, and this is a synagogue particularly popular with Indians here, and they're understandably more than a little pleased with the warm relations between India and Israel, and certainly looking forward to the arrival of the Indian Prime Minister.
We welcome Prime Minister Modi here in Israel. It's his second visit here in Israel, and the circumstances he's coming now are quite different according to what's happening in the Middle East and, of course, in the Far East. And we hope that the collaboration between the two states will achieve new goals and new achievements for both countries.
आने वाले हैं अपने दोस्त मजबूत मोदी जी, हमारे तरफ से उसको वेलकम एंड नमस्ते। और हमारी जो इंडियन कंपनी है इधर, हम इंडिया को बहुत प्यार करते हैं। हम इंडिया के छोड़ के आए, लेकिन हाड़ हमारा उधर है अभी। और हमारी और एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि हमारे कब्रिस्तान में थोड़ा कुछ तोड़ फोड़ हो रहा है इंडिया में, तो हमारी विनती है कि वो कुछ सेट कर दे हमारे लिए, कि उसको अच्छा रख दे।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi, welcome to Israel. אנחנו נקבל אותך בשמחה ונקבל שיתוף פעולה בהמשך.
We are anticipating this visit for a long time. We are very happy that this is happening. The connection between our leadership, between our two governments, is very important to take this relationship and to proceed from strategic level to a much more deep and intimate strategic relation. Of course, we expect to sign MOUs in different fields: technology, AI, cyber, transportation, etc. We are very happy that Prime Minister Modi is visiting us in this time, and I think it's a very, very important timing as well.
And let me now take this across to my colleague Sanjay Suri, who joins us live from Jerusalem. Sanjay, it's a very, very important visit of the Prime Minister's, particularly when Middle East seems to be flaring up. There are tensions that are on the horizon with the US-Iran relationship can spiral out of control any minute now. That is what the geopolitical experts really are saying. And in the middle of that, this visit, how important is this?
Well, this is important on both counts, bilaterally and also given the context. Bilaterally, of course, defense is the key issue here, and we've already had an $8.7 billion deal for arms from Israel, and that includes such sophisticated systems as the Spice 1000 and the Rampage, and the next possible and very promising one would be the Golden Horizon air-to-air missile systems that are airborne. So those would be a new possibility. There will be a very, very high upgradation for the capacities of the Indian Air Force. That is on the horizon now. But really, there is a move now towards joint innovation, engineering and production between the two countries on a scale that we haven't seen before. So bilaterally, that is what is going to be critical. On the diplomatic front, Netanyahu held out something a little intriguing. An alliance of several countries. He named several countries, India, Israel, Arab nations, he said some Mediterranean nations, to set up an alliance. He spelled out that that would move against radicalism of both the Shia and the Sunni groups. He said there have been steps taken against Shia groups, and he said Sunni groups will be next. It's not clear exactly how that will take shape. He spelled it out as a major announcement in the offing. That is something really to watch out for. But again, as you said, this is happening in the context of an absolute meltdown. We are on the precipice of war, it would appear. There again, there would be concerns about that the two leaders certainly will address together, bearing in mind that India does have good relations with Iran, while it has, of course, very strong relations with Israel. So that is something that the Indian Prime Minister will have to naturally play very carefully. But that is a situation to watch out for, and to see if at this stage, if something can be done to avert conflict. And we have, of course, talks in Geneva on Thursday. Those would appear the last hope now for some sort of a settlement before a breakout of war.
Right, Sanjay, you mentioned about this axis of nations for stability in the region, the countries that one is looking at. And also, while you are talking about the hexagon of alliances, one must also understand the position that India has had vis-a-vis Palestine. A very important player. Now that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on his second visit to the country of Israel, how is Palestine really looking at it?
You know, India's official policy has been a support for the two-state solution. That does not necessarily mean that we're going to see two states coming up. That is something that Israel opposes very, very strongly, and particularly after the October 7 attacks. The view here, and stated needless to say emphatically by Netanyahu, has been that that would be like rewarding Palestinians with a state of their own for the attack on Israel. So that is something you have a very strong sense of public opinion against right across Israel, in Tel Aviv, here in Jerusalem, everywhere. And people are certainly opposed to that. But that certainly is India's position. So that position is different from the Israeli position. That is something that I think has to stay on record. It need not be an issue. It's not an imminent issue at the moment. There is this Board of Peace that's come up as some sort of a quasi-alternative to the UN. Nobody quite knows how that is going to play out. So there's a lot of uncertainty on that front, but that is not the immediate issue before the two leaders through the course of these talks.
Right, Sanjay, thank you so much for that perspective. We'll, of course, keep coming to you as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is about to come to Israel. Sanjay there tracking every development, every move of the Prime Ministers, as he is very, very soon going to be in Israel.